Happy Saturday, Connect family, and welcome to another amazing episode of the Connect Network TV right here on the CW. I'm your host, Stitches, with our amazing co-host gal pals, Sandy Glenn. Hey, girl, hey.
Hey,
And of
hey.
course, cannot forget the amazing Wendy Morales. Hey, ladies, what's up?
How are you?
I am blessed and highly favored. What is new? What is going on, Sandy? Start it off.
I love it. Well, it is time for our Influencer Unlocked segment. And today we're diving into the fascinating world of celebrity health trends. Celebrities have a huge influence on what we eat, how we exercise, and even how we feel about ourselves. From plant-based diets to intense workout regimens, they're setting the tone for wellness culture.
This is so true. And absolutely, one major trend is definitely plant-based diets. Like you mentioned, celebrities like Ariana Grande, Miley Cyrus have been very vocal about their plant-based lifestyle. And studies have actually shown, I don't know if you heard about this, ladies, people who follow a plant-based diet can reduce their risk of heart disease by up to 32%. And it really makes you kind of think about what we're putting into our bodies. Like they say, you are what you eat. But Sandy, have you tried incorporating more plant-based into your meals and your diet so far?
Okay, so I have done the whole 30. I've pretty much tried them all. I mean, I feel like there's nothing really that I don't eat. I mean, I don't eat bacon. That's pretty much it. But other than that, I mean, I've done the plant-based for a little bit, but honestly, like I go off of how my body feels. I don't go off of trends. So I know that my body feels so much better because I weightlift really, really heavy. So I need the protein. So for me, like I just go with how I feel and my body feels really, really good when I'm eating meat.
That's good. What about you, Wendy?
Just like Sandy, I lift, so I need that protein. And so, no, I not the plant-based, definitely, but I did start trying. I don't know if this is a trend, a health trend, but I did switch to factor meals. I don't know if you've seen those on Instagram. And I've loved them. They've been so great. They're calorie conscious and they're also really, you can also select if you want it to be higher in protein. So I really like those. So I would say that's probably the changes that I've made. Here, I've been doing it for about a month and a half, and I have seen a few changes that I'm really liking, positive changes for sure.
What are some of the changes you see?
Well, I've actually lost a few inches. I feel lighter, which as we've, spoke in the past, going through menopause, right now you gain so much weight around the belly. So I've seen such a difference. It's really helped me feel better. And I know that it's really starting to help me lose some of the inches around my belly. And I just feel lighter. And you also experience a lot of bloating with menopause. And so this has really helped control some of that. So yeah. I think I'm going to stick with them probably through the end of the year. And, they're really priced amazing. It's I break it down and it's about $11 a meal, which you can't beat that.
That's awesome. Well, listening to our bodies is definitely key. And if you look at celebrities like Lizzo or Adele or even Jennifer Hudson, when celebrities like these embrace their bodies and advocate for self-love, it empowers fans to do the same, which I think is really powerful. And body positivity isn't just about appearance, it's about loving yourself. So it's so refreshing to see this shift in how we view health and beauty. Stitches, what advice would you give to someone struggling with maybe some body issues? What advice do you have?
I used to struggle with it as a kid. Like I would literally pray daily when I was a little kid because I was kind of taller than most and I was thicker than most, but the weight and the height, people didn't get it at that at that time. So I would pray every night. But what I really would encourage is to kind of, because we have so much access to everything, I would say try to block out the noise. And
Yeah.
like we said, mentioned earlier, really be in tune to what is good for your body. Because what is good for Sandy and Wendy may not be good for me. What's good for me may not be great for somebody else. So just really be in tune with what is best for you and block out the noise and find that, I guess that regimen, think of it more of a lifestyle and not so much as a diet, because it's true, a lot of the things that are being put in our food, it's not good for us at all. So think of it
Yes.
more as a lifestyle change, and for you to live longer and healthier. So I'm even
Mhm.
tapped in. Y'all said lift weighting. I got my gym membership back, so I'm on it, and I'll be listening to you ladies. So thank you.
We'll tap into that.
That's awesome. What do you say, Wendy?
No, definitely. I think those are some really incredible words to live by, stitches, and no matter the size, like I always encourage, like just love yourself and feel good about yourself and just do whatever it takes to feel good about yourself, whether it's trying a new lipstick, whether it's a new hairdo, whatever it is. But definitely stitches, I think those were some incredible words. And also let's not forget the resources that are available, from, therapy apps to online support groups. There are so many options for anyone feeling overwhelmed. It's all about finding what works best for you, ladies.
Yes.
That's right. Well said. And of course, 2025 is right around the corner. You know, your girl, the planner here. It's like I'm already in next year. So that's when we recommit to our health. So are there any healthy practices either of you are most excited to try in the new year?
I'll say right now, sleep.
I'm with you too, Stitches. I think I said rest last year as well. And it seems like I keep getting busier and busier, but rest is so important. I mean, in every way, we need that sleep, we need that rest, we need to shut down our minds so that we can reboot every single day. So I like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, everyone, health is about balance and finding joy in the journey. And don't move, because coming up we have Celia Anzalone Bowers, Mrs. Italy World 2024 and author. She'll be talking about the power of hope and healing. Stay tuned, Connect Fam. We'll be right back.
I'm Jessica Cherry, founder of the award-winning blog Life of a Cherry Wife. If you're looking to follow for mom and lifestyle content, fashion, Latina life, and good vibes, this is the place for you. Head over to www.lifeofacherrywife.com for the latest in these areas. Follow me on social at Life of a Cherry Wife.
Are you ready to upgrade your brand, level up your career, and accelerate your business with custom features on network television? Learn more at theconnectonline.com.
Welcome back to the Connect Network TV. Today we have a beautiful guest joining us. She is the founder and president of the 501c3 nonprofit Lead with Love International. And through her nonprofit, she has facilitated therapeutic writing workshops in 5 states and counting since becoming established in August of 2023. Welcome the amazing Celia Anzalone Bowers, author and Mrs. Italy World 2024. Welcome to the show, Celia.
Thank you guys for having me.
Hi, Celia. Love it, Queen. I love the stash and all the things, dear. So let's kick things off, if we can, with your book. You Are a Queen, Transform Your Pain into Power. I love it. Hold it up, honey. Hold it up. Can you share a little bit about what the inspiration behind it was and what readers can actually expect from your book?
Well, I'm not just spewing out my own personal journey to healing and self-worth. I give practical guidance and advice throughout the book. There's straighten your crown exercises at the end of every chapter. Just tips I've learned along the way, tools I have in my toolbox of my own journey through recovery and, learning to use my voice and ultimately transform my life. And that's what I want to offer any other open-hearted woman that puts this book in their hands and reads it.
That's so beautiful, Celia. And speaking of queens, you're not just a queen in the literary world, but also in pageantry. Tell us about your experience being Mrs. Italy, because I think I hear a Southern twang. Am I right?
You are. So my grandparents were both born and raised on my dad's side. So 23andMe, I'm 50%, which is not always common to take that many traits, I guess, from your father or whatever. But I am 50% Italian, and my start in pageantry was in 2021. I was top 15 at Mrs. American after winning my state pageant as Mrs. Tennessee American. There's two titles, Mrs. American, Mrs. Tennessee American. But anyway, you have to win that to go to Mrs. World. So it's really exciting and honestly like a God moment how this opportunity's kind of happened right as my books come out. Because I've always dreamed of competing at Mrs. World, but only placing top 15, it doesn't quite get you there. So I'll be competing with other countries, including Mrs. American, Mrs. America, and many other countries. So I'm super excited about it.
That's great. And you are about to compete for Mrs. World at the Westgate in Las Vegas. So we're so excited for you. I know what the whole prep looks like, but I want to hear from you. What have you been doing? Give us behind the scenes, walk us through it. What does your journey and preparation look like?
Right. So we're both familiar with the international system. This system has you do a swimsuit. So the prep is a little more intense. You're in heels and a swimsuit. So I've been, practicing that, making sure I am comfortable with my walk and confident with that because that's a side of myself I haven't really worked on in the past few years. I'm competing in tennis shoes and fitness wear. So I'm really excited to do that. And just honestly, just getting my mind and my energy and my heart right because that's really the most important thing is that I bring my best, most healed, most authentic self because like I said, I competed within this system and went to the Westgate in Las Vegas in 2021, and I talk about it in my book. And I'm just a totally different person now, and I really just want to bring forth my light and show the world, where I'm at now, and it's just makes evidence the redeeming power of God's love, my entire story and my entire journey, and pageantry just happens to play a role in that.
I love that. Matthew 5:14, let your light shine, honey. Let it shine. So I want to ask you this. How do you think, if it has, has the competitions or any of the competitions helped with your confidence in any way?
100%. So I talk about in the book that pageantry is shined a light on areas I needed to heal. And you can either shy away from that, you can make it turn toxic, or you can lean in and say, what is God trying to show me about myself? So that the healing is what has given me confidence, and honestly it's brought me closer to God because I've had to surrender and lean in because it's a lot, and so I have done that, and what I found is like God is my confidence, and that brings my most beautiful, most authentic, most whole and worthy self forward when I just lean into that version of myself.
Yes, well, that's so powerful. And we want to dive in and talk to you about your platform in pageantry. So we'd love to discuss your mission and why it's so close to your heart.
Yeah. So the name of my platform is Lead with Love. And that's what I named my nonprofit after. And it's really just inspiring love and compassion in others for those that are struggling. Like I visit schools and women's shelters and women's treatment centers, places where I feel like they need to see that light at the end of the tunnel. And I actually happen to be that light at the tunnel for them. So that's how my platform was inspired. But really, ultimately, it's really just I just want to inspire every woman to not only find their unique God-given voice, but to use it. Maybe you don't have to write a book, maybe you don't have to be on the CW, but maybe it's writing, getting honest in a journal, or speaking up to your spouse. I feel like when we find it and we use our voice, we can transform our lives, and that's what I've done to heal myself throughout the years.
Thank you so much for sharing that. See, my whole hair is flipped over just because of that. Thank you so much.
Love it.
Truly, thank you, Celia, for being transparent and open and sharing your story with us. And thank you for giving us a sneak peek of your journey. We cannot wait to see you shine like the star you are at Miss World. You're going to crush it. We know you are. But how can people find you and support you, and also tap into your book as well?
Oh, I love that so much. Thank you for mentioning that. My socials are at Love Waits for You. Love meaning God. God waits for you to come home to yourself. But at Love Waits for You is my Instagram. And on there, there's a link to my website, CeliaAnzaloneBowers.com. And from there, you can click on books and it'll take you to the Amazon link. It's on Barnes and Nobles and available everywhere, but I get the most royalties that I funnel right back into my nonprofit if you purchase from Amazon.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being with us and sharing your journey. Make sure that you connect with Celia and go support.
Thank you.
Connect fam, sit back and relax, because up next, Wendy will be having a one-on-one sit down with Dr. Stuart, diving into the benefits of telehealth and how it can make healthcare more accessible for everyone. Are you ready to discover how telehealth can revolutionize your life? Tune in for insights that could change your future.
Everybody, I'm Fern Malice. I was the creator of New York Fashion Week, and now I have a consulting business. And I'm also the author of Fashion Icons by Fern Malice. And I have books 1 and 2, which are fabulous, full of great interviews. You can buy the book set at Nordstrom, or buy the books independently at Amazon or other great booksellers. You can follow me on Instagram and find out more about my events and everything I'm doing. It's at Fern Malice, and I'm happy to be here on the Connect Network TV.
Welcome back to the Connect Network TV. Today we have a phenomenal guest joining us. Please help me welcome Dr. Stuart Seigel, a board-certified endocrinologist who's making waves in the world of telehealth. Welcome to the show, Dr. Stuart.
How's it going? Thanks so much for having me on.
It's going great. We are so honored to have you here with us today on the Connect Network TV. Telemed to you healthcare is so amazing. Please share with our viewers more about the platform.
Absolutely. So Telemed to you, believe it or not, it's actually been around for a while. Really, it's a company that's all about providing access to care for people who don't have access to care. And so, right now, originally the company was founded because in the rural areas, specialty care, basically care aside from primary care medicine, really wasn't available in those areas. And so it was started to be able to supply care to places where it was needed most. And originally it was more done in kind of a business to business way, where the doctors would actually zoom in to clinics and work that way. But really, since the pandemic, it's allowed us to actually just do direct to member care, in the comfort of their home.
No, that's definitely a game changer, and I'm sure it's really, needed in many places. So let's talk endocrinology. How can this be treated effectively through the Telemed to you platform?
Yeah, so endocrinology, if we focus specifically on that, we're a specialty. So what is an endocrinologist? So an endocrinologist is a doctor. It's an internal medicine doctor who's specialized in hormones, right? And so because that, hormones are, we basically check them through the blood. And so, pretty much all disease processes that we treat can be evaluated through lab testing. And so, when a patient sees us, via telemed, we can do all the diagnostic testing that's needed, through their local labs. And so if you imagine, going to a clinic with a doctor, you go, you have a waiting room, you get checked in by a medical assistant, and then eventually, you're roomed and you see the doctor. The same process exists in a telemed environment. And so people, they sign up for the visit. We have reminders. They get checked in by somebody who rooms them, and then after that they can see us, basically just like we're doing right now. And it's interesting because I remember, prior to Telemed, where I worked, if you remember the pandemic, telemed was huge because it had to be done that way. And during that time, I had seen the most patients I've ever seen, because, it was so much more accessible that patients who really weren't coming in for their appointments started to. And so, and really, I think that that's kind of what led me specifically down this path, to telemed was because it's such an accessible way of giving care.
Absolutely. This is so convenient, definitely convenient. I know it has been, firsthand for me, it's definitely a very convenient way to see your doctor. And this is almost a one-stop shop. And I know many people are curious about the specific conditions that you treat through telehealth. So can you share some of those with us, and how else can we utilize your platform?
Absolutely. And so the conditions that we treat, we're endocrinology. So we treat diseases of the thyroid, diabetes for sure, osteoporosis. We treat diseases of the pituitary, which is the master endocrine gland of the body, the adrenal gland, low testosterone. So, we really, pretty much all endocrine glands, that's what we do. So that's what we treat, and any condition associated with that. Absolutely.
That's wonderful. And let's talk a little bit about diabetes. November is National Diabetes Awareness Month, and the holidays are just around the corner. We will definitely be eating more and paying less attention to our health, unfortunately, because we get so into the holidays. So what should people know about diabetes, and what diabetes treatment should our viewers consider?
Yeah. So, I think that, I think, one thing that I do see frequently, especially when people are newly diagnosed with diabetes, is that, they receive this diagnosis of diabetes and they basically lose hope. Right. So they feel that, and maybe they have family members who have suffered the complications of diabetes, for example, the kidney disease, the eye disease, the nerve disease. And so they feel that they're going to go down that similar path. But today we really have excellent monitoring technology. We have really great medications that we offer to patients that make a tremendous improvement. Through the years, seeing these kind of transformative medications and how it makes the management so much easier. And so the bottom line is, you don't have to lose hope if you have this diagnosis. You can still live a great life without complications. Another thing to think about is, I think a lot of people think, oh, I have diabetes, I got to go keto, right? And so keto is this, big craze right now. And I think that you don't actually have to do that. What I find with patients is that really just having a balance to the nutrition plan. So not, we have the holidays, avoiding partaking in any holiday, treats. I would say you don't really have to do that. You certainly can partake in treats. And it's all just about a balance. And I think that a lot of people feel that, well, because I have diabetes, I'm the one that has to have the balance. But I think it's the same balance that really should apply to people, even without diabetes. And then I would say another, thing to think about is, I think a lot of people, when they see an endocrinologist for their diabetes, they're kind of worried that it's just going to be an awful experience. And I think, today, unfortunately, in the healthcare system, things have changed and it's less accessible. And doctors see more patients. So it's really, maybe the experience isn't kind of where they'd like it to be, less supportive, right? Because it has to be quicker and shorter visit times. And so, so they have this idea that they're going to go see the endocrinologist and it's going to be as if they're getting a report card for how they're doing with their diabetes. But at telemed, we really don't do that. So we have, a team, all members of the team have been touched by chronic disease such as diabetes. And everybody's incredibly compassionate, really supportive. And the environment that we provide is really, we basically take the approach that, if a patient is coming to see us, it's because they need help. And so we have a judgment-free zone for sure. And so those are kind of the things that I think are important to, think about when getting care for your diabetes.
Your services and access to your doctors don't require a doctor's referral. So if one of our viewers would like to sign up and get started with you, how do they go about making an appointment?
So we actually have a special program. So at telemed, we see patients, across the nation. We have a majority of business in California, but we also have a lot of business across the country. And we have a special program that's really designed for access, just like unfettered access. And what they would do is they would reach out to us via the website. You can go to telemedtoyou.com, which is telemed, TELEMED, and then the number 2 in the letter U. And then they can find the diabetes care program on there, click it, and then just sign up online. And then we reach out and get things scheduled pretty quickly. It's really an incredibly accessible program because you have direct access to the clinicians that manage the diabetes. We have a continuous care model so that we monitor the blood sugars, and we can provide assistance in between visits. Currently, it's kind of like you see the patient, and then 3 months goes by, you see him again, but so many things can happen in between. And so we're actually there providing support even in between the visits.
Thank you so much. Again, we've been so honored to have you today. So much helpful information and so much wonderful information today. To our viewers, please don't go anywhere, Connect Family. We will be right back.
Tired of long wait times and complicated referrals just to see a specialist? At Telemed to You, we make it simple. See a provider from over 20 specialties. No PCP referral needed. From endocrinology and mental health to dermatology and cardiology and more, we've got you covered. All from the comfort of your home. And you can book an appointment in just a few clicks on your phone or laptop. Telemed to You. Virtual quality care for everyone. Visit telemedtoyou.com to book now.
Welcome back, Connect Family. That wraps up our show for today. A heartfelt thank you to our wonderful guests, Celia Bowers and Dr. Stuart Seigel. Be sure to follow Celia on Instagram at LoveWaitsForYou and Dr. Seigel at Telemed2You, that's the number 2, you, for more insights and inspiration.
That's right, Sandy. Also, tap into our IG and connect with us to share more at the Connect Network TV. Remember, you can binge watch our past episodes by watching them Netflix style on our website at theconnectonline.com. In the meantime, keep up with me at Gone with the Windy on IG. Sandy and Stitches, where can they find you, beauties?
Yeah, so just on same thing, Instagram at Sandy Glands. That's with an I at Sandy Gland, and also Slay Your Day Official.
I love it. And you can tap in with me, STICHIZ Stitches on social media. And if you're tapped into iHeartRadio, you can hear me on various iHeartRadio stations. And if you happen to be in Canada and you hear a familiar voice on Sportsnet, just wave at the TV. I don't know. Thank you so much, Connect Fam, for hanging out with us and allowing us to hang out with you each and every Saturday. So be safe. Make sure you tell someone you love them while they can hear it and receive it. Don't wait and let go. If there's someone that made you upset, forgive. Don't block your blessing. And don't forget, Connect Fam, ladies, remember voting. Exercise your right to vote. If you have not voted already, please voice your vote. And if you can't vote, encourage someone else who is able to vote, right?
That's right. Get out and vote.
Love you for free.
You're watching the Connect Network TV on the CW.